Hello and welcome to another video in the Vincent Lyon Campaign during the pandemic. This is a follow-up to yesterday's video. First, a correction. Yesterday I said that the school was in Jacksonville. The school is actually in Ponte Vedra. The trial was in Jacksonville. Second, I was doing a follow-up because I was asked a question about the reach of this decision. But before I go into that, I want to give a personal anecdote. A couple of months back, I was talking to a gentleman who felt very passionately about this. To paraphrase his position, he didn't want his daughter to have to go to a school where they're going to allow some dude who thinks he's a chick to go into the restrooms just so he can gaze at the girls. My response to him was that I can't think of a single time that has ever happened. However, I can give you pages of incidents where a trans person was forced to use the bathroom that didn't conform with their current identity, and as a result got the shit kicked out of it. And his response to that was, okay, that's a fair point. I don't know if I changed his mind, but the dialogue is there. People are thinking it's a matter of getting into people's heads what is the real issue and where are the real dangers. I bring in that anecdote because the decision in Ponte Vedra's case, in Mr. Adams's case, specifically dealt with that. They talked about that in the court's decision in great detail, and the several experts, none of whom could ever present to the court any instances of the privacy or safety of other people in the restroom being compromised by the presence of a trans person, or any instance of a person pretending to be a trans person in order to gain access to the other bathroom. Just doesn't happen. So that was an issue in setting the stage in the case, and I do recommend you read that decision. Send me an email. I will shoot you a copy of the decision. It's worth reading. So that gets us to what is the reach of this decision. In the 11th Circuit, as I said yesterday, covers Alabama, Georgia, and Florida. So the decision is controlling in those three states. But the decision of the 11th Circuit was that we affirm the decision of the District Court of the Middle District of Florida. The District Court in the Middle District of Florida limited the scope of their decision. I will read it from that decision, in which the judge stated, as a transgender boy, Adams must be permitted to use the boys' restroom at school. However, the court has had no occasion in the context of this case to determine what threshold of transition, if any, is necessary for the school board to accommodate other transgender students, nor did the parties ask the court to do so. The court received no evidence concerning any other transgender student. Thus, the injunction will enter in this case will be limited to the plaintiff, Drew Adams. So in other words, the court's decision is just that Drew Adams can use the boys' bathroom. It doesn't mean any other trans student in that school, or in a school in Atlanta, or in a school in Montgomery has the same access. They do have a footnote, which starts out, nothing prevents the school board from using this decision as a guidance for future situations involving other transgender students. That is the court telling the school board, we've told you everything you did wrong. If you want to make a new policy, avoid those problems. This will have an effect in that it's very hard for anyone to have a policy that is very similar to this, the one that they had at Ponte Vedra, to overcome the 14th Amendment and Title IX challenges. If a school in Montgomery, Alabama decides to have a similar policy, and they have a student in transition suffering under that policy, and they go to court, they're going to ultimately end up looking at this 11th Circuit decision and say, well, do these reasonings we applied here in that case also apply in this case? If they do, then most likely then that will control. Because the schools now know that that's the most likely outcome of such a policy, they're going to avoid that kind of a policy because they want to avoid the litigation, the expense, the public embarrassment, honestly, to the school of going through all of that. So it will have an effect in that it will guide the actions of school boards in all of those states, including the actions of Flagler County School Board, for which I'm a candidate, and I hope that you will vote for me, either early voting now or on the 18th. Vote for Vincent. Thank you.